All right, kids, it is a summer break edition of Happy Hour. That means you get a bonus hour, 1 to 2, where you would normally have Duck Insider. They're on school break. They'll be back August. I believe the 3rd is a Monday. You will have Joey Mack and the boys and whoever else is on their crew for this 2026 Ducks season. Not just football, all things Ducks will be back in August. Until then, you got me, Luke Anderson. You've got Casey Smith along for the ride. And I hate to do this. It's a Monday. I think everybody had pretty nice weekends that I talked to. The weather was fantastic. If you were in Portland, Oregon over the weekend, I find it very hard that you couldn't have enjoyed the weather that we had. You had the Open Championship. You had the World Cup. You had baseball getting back to regular play. We're reporting to camps around the NFL. There's a lot going on, so I don't want to start with controversy, but I'm going to do it anyways.
What you got for me?
Kind of like the halftime show of the World Cup.
Really?
Yeah. I will take throw a bunch of crap at the wall and see if anything sticks over the months of build-up to the Super Bowl halftime show where it's some artist where everybody's going to gripe about it. Did I like every single element of it? No, the Madonna thing was cheesy, and whoever the old soccer players were that were all fat now and just standing there awkwardly not knowing how to stand, it was something to look at. And then you go to a big orchestral piece with Animal from the Muppets center stage playing the White Stripes. And then, hey, look, we got Ted Lasso out there. You got the whole thing. I thought it was absolutely chaotic and idiotic in such a wonderful way. There's something for everybody. You can sit back there and be cynical and go, oh, stupid. Sure, you're probably right. But you know what? We're sitting there watching it to be entertained. How on earth do you have something that is universally appealing to the entire planet? You don't. So just throw a bunch of stuff at the wall. Shakira, I don't even know how old she is. She does not
Timeless.
age. She does not
Timeless.
age. Whoever styles her does such a wonderful job. All the background dancers completely disappears. She goes out there just shaking her hips. How they cannot get somebody of her equivalent? Shocking to me. You have a sea of dancers. Not one of them grabbed my attention at all. And then some guy just shows up in a jean and t-shirts. They spent God knows how much time taping her into whatever she's wearing. And then what was that? Was that the Afrikaans guy?
Burna Boy is his name. He's the largest reggaeton artist in the world.
Okay. He's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna wear it. I'm not trying to compete with that. I'll just throw on some black pants, white shirt. Let's go. Let her stand out. He knew what his job was. Mm-hmm. Bieber does his little thing wearing some sort of tunic or smock or whatever he was doing. And I didn't really pay that much attention to the song, but to have a guy with a guitar hold 70,000 people still silent as he sings whatever little song. Canada was just weeping, I'm sure, somewhere if there was a Canadian in the place. Am I what I kept calling them BTO?
BTS.
I am aware of that, but it's Bachman Turner Overdrive is BTO. And so I said BTO and everybody goes, I don't think that's it. And I go, I don't think that's it either. And then I realized that's definitely Bachman Turner Overdrive. We're definitely not watching. And it was BTS. Like, we're singularly. There was not anything that was overwhelmingly entertaining.
These are the largest international draws in music.
Well, but I genuinely had no idea what was coming up next. And we went through the artists a couple weeks ago, didn't we? Like, we knew who was going to be there, but you didn't know what they were going to do. And you just sit back. We're going to create a spectacle. How long did that whole thing last?
12 minutes.
Oh, yes, please.
Perfect.
How long does the Super Bowl halftime show last?
35.
Thank you. You can hate it all. It's easy. It's easy to hate things. Just sit back and enjoy. Now, maybe it's because it was the dullest soccer match in the history of soccer matches that we were watching, and anything would have been entertaining. They could have just had a kid out there waving a sparkler on the back. Who's going to catch on fire? Anything would have been entertaining based on what we watched on the actual pitch. Mm-hmm. but they got that set up really quickly. Whatever they did to cover the field looked cool. The camera work and the production was awesome because you had people moving all around. They went seamlessly from one to another and then back to the whole ensemble.
I think that was my favorite part of it. I'm looking at the camera angles now. They're holding up too, just in the replay back that everything looks very clean. You have just these beautiful visuals out there.
Yes.
It works very well.
Yeah, that's what it was. Was it the greatest thing ever? No, but I don't know how it didn't appeal to the broad scope of what this entire event was. And the World Cup here in America, they brought in people from globally, from around the world to celebrate what it was. Tom Cruise out there getting everybody amped up. I know the boys before were talking about it. My mom's like, you have to go and watch that. It was fine. But the halftime show for me, I was like, yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that every day of the week if they do that. If they replace the Super Bowl spectacle,
I would really hope that they start taking notes Super Bowl, because this is how it's done. I like the idea of the ensemble cast as
100%.
I think when you have a singular artist, you have people going, oh, why wasn't it this person? Why wasn't it this person? If you just bring on the ensemble, I think a lot of people they have the better time.
Take any one of those elements and drag it out for 30 minutes. Yeah, I'm good. No thanks. But every little bit that they had was 2 minutes, if that. I can endure anything for 2 minutes. I have children. Some of the selections they make on Apple Music make me want to rip my hair out, but I can listen to them once. Oh, they got a new song about pooping your pants. You got to listen. And it's they played it 3 times over the weekend. I was like, that's enough. We're good. I've heard it. But it's funny once. I can handle that. Maybe that should be the halftime show. Maybe that should be the halftime show. I had to ask Patrick, was that a terrible game or was it just me? And he said the final is always the worst match. He said everybody is so afraid to make a mistake. I think he's wrong there. He said it was everybody being too cautious. I'm sorry, but Spain kicked it at that goalie 20 times during that. That guy was awesome.
Spain has been doing that in the entire World Cup, too. So they were holding possession, they were getting a lot of shots off, and they were making it really tough on teams defensively.
Was there another goaltender that had 11 saves in just the 90 minutes or whatever it was? Because they got to a point where for the World Cup final, he just kept adding another number to the record for the most saves in a final. But that guy was awesome.
Yeah, he holds the record now for the most saves in a World Cup final with 11.
But I guess that's my question, is how many saves did other goalkeepers have against Spain during there's no way that they were taking 20 shots on everybody they played and not scoring goals. Because that was the thing. Spain came out, opening match, plays Cape Verde, that nobody had ever heard of, and the pronunciation was all over the map on what we would do. Nobody knew where they were from. Cape Verde goes out and gets a draw with Spain to start this whole tournament off. And then you finish it with that. There's no way the Cape Verde goalie had 11 saves in it.
I'm guessing no.
Yeah. So there was some elements of it. I ended up watching, I would say most of it. Honestly, when it went to extra time, and there was a man down for Argentina, I was like, we should probably get to happy hour. We kept an eye on the score during it, but I was like, let's be honest. Argentina does not have a shot to score. They had one shot in the general direction of the Spanish goal, so we were pretty confident how that was going to end. And we figured if we made it to happy hour in time for a penalty kick, then we'd be good.
Mm-hmm.
Halfway over there, Spain scores their lone goal, and then it just bleeds out the time on Argentina, and then Messi cried. It was a beautiful, beautiful moment. So, I don't know. What was your thought on the... maybe you've already shared it with the guys from the firm. I didn't hear it, but what do you think of the World Cup final?
Well, I had an interesting viewer experience, I should say.
Yeah.
Because of the many people in my family, all of us sharing accounts, I got hit with the you have too many screens watching this game. And so I decided, well, I'm going to be watching this game completely in the box score. So I didn't find out until about 10 minutes after, until Twitter and ESPN, everything already updated me that Spain had just scored.
Where were you that you couldn't find?
At home.
Yeah.
That's the worst part about it.
Weren't going to go over to your parents' house?
I could have, but it was more of I just wanted to sit down and enjoy my Sunday, and I sit down, I'm on it for about 20 minutes, and then I get hit with it.
So right as it was going final, or maybe just running out of time, we got to the Waterfront Tap House over in the Vancouver waterfront. If you have not been to the Vancouver waterfront and you're a Portland listener, beautiful, perfect day to be there. Sunday afternoon, outstanding. So we get there. As we get there, we knew the result. The wild thing about it is I ran into a buddy that was actually there to watch the game, so talked to him for just a minute. But then we get seated. We're sitting outside looking over the beautiful Columbia River, just listening to kind of the chatter around. Everybody was talking about the game. That was if you'd like to measure the success of the World Cup, sitting in Little Vancouver, Washington, sitting out on the patio on a Sunday afternoon, I don't think that there was a single group around that you could just pick out the words. Oh, Spain won. And it was somebody had it completely backwards. Another table interrupts the table next to them. No, you have it backwards. Spain beat Argentina. And they're like, oh, and then you have all these conversations around it. So obviously it wasn't the crowd that was going to be there, because when we got seated, we were one of the last people to get seated in the area, and just hearing everybody around, we were keeping an eye on it, as was the rest of the little community there. And if you were really intent on the game, you would have been sitting down to watch it. But the place cleared out afterwards, because most of the people that were there to watch it. So I don't know. You can go and pick out the worst moments of it. You can find the controversy. You can find the president being booed. You can find the corruption that exists within FIFA. You can figure out whatever you want to dislike. If you hated the halftime show, if you hate Tom Cruise, if you hate any of those moments, if you'd rather have the 3-4 game where they scored goal upon goal upon goal, but that's not real soccer because nobody was playing defense. And blah, blah, blah. There's a million things you can find. From my vantage point, the entire World Cup was way better than I expected it to be. And I enjoyed several moments. I won't say I enjoyed the whole thing, because I didn't dive feet first into the pool that was the World Cup. It would have been nice to see the U.S. go farther, but you had a bunch of really good storylines. You had a beautiful presentation of the whole thing. Plenty of times we sat in the studio and had it on the screen and got caught up into it with countries that we had no rooting interest in. There was certainly stars stepping up and being awesome in big moments. Ultimately, you had the team that plays a very conservative style, possesses the ball a ton, and you had somebody win in a fashion very much like the Patriots beating the Rams the first time they met in the Super Bowl. And it was just like, hey, this game's going to be kind of boring, but we're going to do what it takes to win, and we're going to, unfortunately, take the greatest show on turf and just squash them. Actually, the worst one might be the second time the Patriots and Rams met in the Super Bowl.
I was also thinking Eagles-Chiefs, too.
But that was just a blowout. This wasn't necessarily a blowout. You remember the Jared Goff version of the Rams that went in and high-flying, and you've got this offense that's going to come in. Sean McVay, Todd Gurley, the boy genius. What was that, like 2-0? They just safetied him and then just sat on the ball the whole time.
16-3 was what it felt like until it actually started scoring.
I don't think there was that much scoring. If you look at the final in that one, I mean, I was thinking of the greatest show on turf when they lost to him. That was a defensive effort too, but you've got
13-3.
Did that feel like that? All this hype, and you just go reverse roles, but it happens. But it was a wonderful tournament, ton of fun. I love that they did it across the 3 countries on the continent. The next one should be moved around for Spain, Portugal, Morocco, I believe. So I don't know. We can find a million things to complain about, and most of it was about the halftime show, which says something about the game. But very enjoyable tournament. Thank you, World Cup. Go back to being terrible, terrible, terrible people.
I'm all for that.
You want to talk some baseball?
Let's do it.
We want to move on to some baseball stuff. We've got all kinds of things happening in Major League Baseball. We're finally back to playing games that matter. We've got, for the Mariners, we've got 62 left. You've just made it to the 100 mark, and there are plenty of teams that need to turn things around in the second half, but there's not a big gap between them. We'll do that next. It is Happy Hour, bonus hour on 105.1 The Fan. All right, we are going to talk some baseball at 2:30. Gary Hill Jr., Seattle Mariners radio play-by-play, will join us. Right now, we've got a few stories that we're going to go through, but Casey started to freak out because our Seahawks had a little update. This was from Adam Schefter, and of course, all of these designations, and you see anything that says pup is associated with physically unable to perform. And who were the three players that were all put onto the PUP list for the Seattle Seahawks just moments ago, Casey?
That would be safety, Nick Emanwari, Kenny McIntosh, and Tyrone Broden.
I don't know who Tyrone Broden is. That was the one that I did not know. Obviously, Nick Emanwari was the runner-up for Rookie of the Year on the defensive side of the football last year behind Schlesinger from the Browns. And Kenny McIntosh has been around a couple years and shown flashes, but has been injured. But
Tyrone Broden is a rookie out of Arkansas.
Okay. And what position?
Corner.
Okay. So a corner.
6'5" corner.
Ooh, all right. To get a guy that just has all those physical traits of Reek Woolen and try to see if he has anywhere near the acumen on the field, and maybe a little less boneheadedness if the guy's gone. So see what you can do for a guy with size. So it is right now we have the Seahawks already reported to rookie training camp, which I believe was on Friday, and then this Friday they'll have the entire roster show up. So I just did a quick double check. Anybody out there that's worried, the physical unable to perform list is an NFL roster designation for players who suffer football-related injuries prior to the start of training camp. Players on the active PUP can attend meetings but cannot practice. As roster cuts approach, teams must decide to activate, release, trade, or shift these players to the reserve PUP list. So that's the difference. You have an active PUP list and you have a reserve PUP list. If you go on the reserve PUP list, you are required to miss at least 4 games of the regular season. They are right now on the active PUP list, so it doesn't mean anything. Except for they don't have to practice. Actually, they're not allowed to practice. Do you need Nick Emanwari to go and take reps against guys trying to make the roster?
Not until late August.
Okay, I think we can all agree with that. So nothing to worry about, kids. There are 2 things, Casey, that I need you to take a look at. You may have seen them already, but I wanted to discuss these as we get to our little baseball talk. 1, can you pull up the Phillies and Twins uniforms for the Field of Dream games that will be played on August 13th in a cornfield in the middle of Iowa? That is in Dyersville, Iowa. And the other thing I need you to pull up is we may have a contender for bat flip of the year, and that is William Contreras.
I did see it.
Okay. Did you actually see it?
I watched it.
Okay, this is my issue. Then I need you to send it to me because I did not see the bat.
I didn't see the bat land. I
saw the bat at first.
I saw him toss it. I did not see it land.
All right. So if you've been playing along with us at home as the baseball season has gone on, Casey and I are both keeping an eye on bat flips as the season goes on. We have a couple that have put us at the top.
We have our top 5 now.
Well,
officially.
we've got Josh Naylor with the fadeaway bat flip. We have Ketel Marte with the violent overhand axe throw bat flip after hitting a game winner.
Mm-hmm.
We have the Jazz Chisholm being called
by the hip,
overrated, which is just let it fall by your side. What was the 4th one? We had one just the other day, but I don't think you put it in the top 5.
Oh, I can't remember.
Okay, so I think we just dismissed that as not quite good enough.
If we didn't remember it, doesn't
there you
crack
go.
the list.
And so the new entry, if you have not seen it, William Contreras comes in as a pinch hitter, hits the walk-off game winner. And I have no idea where the bat goes. He might have thrown it out of the stadium. He throws it straight up as hard as he can after sitting back, posing, watching. Now, we'd love to know, 503-864-6326, if you love the bat flip, if you hate the bat flip. The only reason that he loses points on this, I think, is because when he launches the bat straight up in the air, he throws it so high that at one point he's like, ooh, better check, make sure I don't get hit by this bat, because it was launched. Little flinch after he threw it, but walk off, that's right there. Absolutely crushed. The posing. The run around the bases might be as good.
Was Randy the last name that we were...
Randy Arozarena?
Was he on the list?
I don't think so.
I'm just looking at best bat flips of the year.
Okay.
They have a list. Google AI has a list of Josh Naylor, Randy Arozarena, Jazz Chisholm, and William Contreras.
Well, the William Contreras one is right up there. I'll put the Ketel Marte one I can still picture in my head. Again, on a game winner. The Naylor, not a game winner. The Jazz Chisholm, not a game winner, but the Cleveland crowd is chanting overrated, and that's his response. Love that. And now the Contreras one is a game winner. Did you pull up the uniforms for Philly versus Minnesota in Iowa?
I'm looking at these.
And?
Yuck.
Twins look great.
I'm out.
No?
The Twins are the regular unis.
But the Twins, it screams Kirby Puckett, which I love. The Phillies ones you do not like.
No, because they look like the Braves unis.
Yeah.
But just a different shade.
That is fair. I don't know if they ever wore those. They got throwback uniforms. Do you like the idea of these novelty games, going around and playing the Field of Dreams games, going and playing those?
I love the Field of Dreams game.
Okay, so we've got those two things out there. If you want to go and take a look at the unis, tell us what you think of them. They look pretty good to me. Here is something to watch for the rest of the year.
Plus, they're wearing Pirates hats.
Now I got to go back and look.
It's not the right P.
Yeah,
it's not the right P.
That's fair. And they've got the scribe P on the jerseys. Yeah, I didn't know how I felt about the Phillies. I think you're right, and I hate to say it, but what did we talk about the Phillies the other day? You got to go with the blues and the maroon.
Yep.
It's just that's the look. Just go back to that. I know you've worn the red long enough, and you've got the pinstripes that people are now loving that. It's just. That was the best look you ever had. And you know what? Wear it every couple times a year. I will enjoy it then. I'm not trying to be a Phillies fan, so I don't need you to do anything else. I don't think it's going to happen that the Washington Nationals become the first team in baseball to give up and score the most runs in baseball in the same season. We've kind of been keeping an eye on that. But there is one guy that is really fun to watch. If you have not watched Nationals baseball, our boy James Wood, who... we thought was the actor James Wood when the season started. I'm not even kidding. That was my first response. I'm like, who the hell is this guy? He is big, hard-hitting, leadoff hitter for the Washington Nationals, who already have more than 500 runs scored. They also have more than 500 runs allowed. They are really kind of fun to watch. They're not going to be a great team because their pitching is awful, but in the next couple of years, they've got a young roster that scores a lot of runs. Totally fun. Our boy James Wood. I don't know how many games they have left. But right now, he is on pace to score 147 runs this season. The last time we had somebody score 150 runs in a season was Jeff Bagwell in 2000. It would be just the second time somebody has scored 150 runs since 1950. So in 76 years of baseball, it's happened one time, and James Wood on pace-ish to get there. He's got 91 runs scored already.
62 games left to do it because they're exactly 50-50.
Perfect. Take a look at, which is the same record as the Mariners. They're just in the National League, so it's going to be a lot harder. I just said they're not ready to compete.
Yeah,
they actually
eight games out of first place in the National
League. Yeah, but
League.
look at the wild card. I mean, if you pull up the standings for the National League, you have everybody way ahead out in front of their division. You have the Braves, the Nationals, and the Dodgers. They're all way out in front, right? I'm not even looking at it. This is from memory.
And the Brewers.
Yeah, that's what I said. So Braves, Brewers, Dodgers, all way out in front of their division. Pull up the wild card for me. Who's in the wild card? They got to be right in the thick of it because there's some second place teams that are quite a ways back, and I don't know what the exact numbers are. I can pull it up, but they're not going to be that far out of it
right now.
And get that team that can score that much into the postseason.
The NL wild card is the Cubs, the Phillies, and the Cardinals, with the Marlins just on the Cardinals' tail.
And so where does that? So the Washington Nationals 2 games out of a wild card spot. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Padres 2.5 out, and the Diamondbacks just a half game out. The Cardinals, Marlins, and Pirates all tied with the same win percentage, and then Philly and Chicago. The National League looks like a ton of fun. I'm okay with that. But yeah, just National League. You have only a 3-game lead now for the Braves, so the Phillies have caught way up after a terrible start. Cubs only 6 games back. The Diamondbacks in second place in the National League West are 11.5 back. The Colorado Rockies are 23.5 games out of the lead, where the Dodgers sit at 63 and 37. But the Dodgers, it's not really fair. I mean, if you get to play 4 games against the Yankees to start your second half, I mean, just makes it easy. They didn't win the doubleheader. Your boy Jazz had a home run yesterday, in the 8th inning or whatever, that put them ahead. They got to win. Only the second time in 11 games, but they got to win. It's pretty nice. Got to be happy about that.
Tough stretch. The fact that we're still close to 4 games ahead in the wild card, the American League's not doing great.
If you put on your Major League Baseball app and your team is not ready to start and you see the Nationals playing, watch them go through their lineup once. If James Wood is up, he is on pace for only the second time in 75 years to score 150 runs. That's all I wanted to tell. That's all I wanted to tell you, kids. We should probably go into some NFL stuff. We got lists. We have not done linebackers. There's going to be some controversy around this because you want to see on-the-ball linebackers, but I believe they have reclassified them as edge players because all the lists I have, nowhere does it say on-the-ball linebackers. Is Myles Garrett a linebacker?
That's a D-end.
He's an edge. He's not a D-end anymore. He's an edge.
When have you ever seen a linebacker in a 4-point stance?
This is what I'm saying. I think LT used to get in a 7-point stance. He would just go and look like some sort of gremlin out there. I'm trying to think of how he did it. He was a stand-up outside linebacker.
I'm pretty sure, he was in a 2-point.
But again, looking at the positions, we've gone through all the position rankings. There is no defensive end. There's only edge. There is no on-the-ball linebacker. We only have off-ball linebackers. So I think we've reclassified. We don't even know what Kyle Hamilton is. We know Nick Emanwar is on the PUP list, but it's the active one, so he might not miss any games. We don't know what position he plays. Going through a renaissance in the NFL, man. Defenses are not built like they once were. Fair?
This is where we're going to have probably the most controversy in our lists.
I think that's fair. Not my list. I'm presenting you lists, and then you get angry, young man. I do it because it frustrates you so much. But I'm going to ask you again. I ask you every time. Don't yell at me. I'm not making the list. These lists are voted on by players, coaches, executive, scouts, NFL writers. I'm just presenting them to you and watching your tiny little head explode. That's all I'm trying to do. We'll do it next. First, we'll walk over to the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk and see what we missed.
First on the Fan, a perfect preface into our NFL segment as the Packers and standout defensive tackle Devontae Wyatt have agreed to terms on a 3-year, $57 million contract extension. Wyatt will also have a $20 million signing bonus as he agrees to stay in Green Bay. Have you heard of this guy?
To be entirely honest, outside of Micah Parsons, it is a fairly no-name defense, but we also know that there was more double teams and triple teams on Micah Parsons when we went through our edge rushers and looked at that information. So I don't think anybody has concerned themselves too much with the rest of the defense for the Packers. But the Packers are in a spot. We talked about coaches on the hot seat. If you're Matt LaFleur, you better figure something out this year. That team has been too good to not go further, so they better be signing this guy for the right reasons.
And how'd they get Micah Parsons?
They gave up
by trading away their 4-time Pro Bowler and, again, all-NFL defensive tackle Rashawn Gary.
And how much money are they paying Micah Parsons? Oh, a whole lot. A whole lot.
And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Casey Smith from the George McCoy Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy, WarrenAllen.com.
The home of dirt.
right, we are going through the NFL, taking a look at position by position, letting Casey use his unique set of skills that he has created over time to hone in on every player in the NFL and where they rank. So you have been going through and making your list of where you think these guys sit by position ranking and who you think is the number one at every single position. You're trying to keep up with the NFL.com list where all the players voted on their fellow competitors. You've been doing okay with that. The position groups has got you a lot more heated. So one of the things that we have not gone through is what they're calling off-the-ball linebackers. And this is a list of guys that has been put together, voted on by coaches, voted on by scouts, and voted on by executives. It's not a list that I have made. Your list is the one that you made, but I've also found that the AP has put together their list of players voted on by all of their sports writers. So those are the two lists that I am working off of. You've been very angry at me about this multiple times, which I do not appreciate. I'm just trying to give you the information that you need, young man. So, are you ready with your list of what we're calling linebackers?
Yeah, for the most part. We'll see how I do.
For the most part. All right, well, we will start with number 10, and this is off the ESPN list, again, executive coaches and scouts. Their number 10 linebacker, Carolina Panthers, Devin Lloyd.
I love that.
Okay.
Devin Lloyd had a great, what I would call a breakout season as Jacksonville's guy. Just so happens that the guy in Jacksonville is their staple guy in Foyesade Oluokun. I like where Devin Lloyd's played.
All right. If we look over at the top 5 from, not there. Okay, they do have a tie on that one, which is interesting.
I've got him at 9 on my list.
Edgerrin Cooper, Green Bay Packers, number 9.
I've got him a little bit lower on the list because the guy next to him, I think, is better.
Really? All right.
I'm a Quay Walker guy.
Quay Walker is listed as, well, I have him listed with the Las Vegas Raiders, and he's an honorable mention. Mm-hmm. So he left Green Bay last year?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Number 8, Nick Bolton, Kansas City Chiefs.
Love that.
Okay.
Again, Nick Bolton is the staple on that defense. I have him at number 6.
All right. Sorry, I did miss it. Devin Lloyd. So this is the 4th best linebacker by the AP.
I don't hate it.
Okay. And you said you had him about 5?
Yeah, he was a free agent this offseason, and teams were making a lot of big pushes to go out and get Devin Lloyd.
Well, just in the conversations that we have, I know you're high on this guy and not somebody that I have particularly loved because he's former Seahawk, but he racks up a ton of tackles. He's number 7 on the ESPN list, Jordan Brooks.
I love Jordan Brooks, but I have him at 11, so I have him a little bit lower on the list, but I think his D-line helps him out a lot more than many other defensive lines do in the league. Helps when you have a really good front in front of you to just funnel tackles your way.
And we've already seen Brooks on the list of the top 100 players. I want to say he was in the 70s. Jordan Brooks is tied for the 5th best player, according to the AP. Number 6, Azeez Al-Shaair from Houston.
I love and I hate this. I love that Azeez Al-Shaair is finally getting the love because he didn't when he was in Tennessee. But that's my guy.
Yeah?
Azeez Al-Shaair is...
So you think he is too low on this list? That's number 6.
That's my fantasy linebacker. That is who I go out and get every single year because he's a ball hawk. He's an animal. He's a leader in the locker room.
All right. If you're playing your fantasy and you pick your own defensive players, you need to listen to Casey and just listen so you know whether to ignore him or go along with him. Jack Campbell is the 5th best linebacker in the NFL. Detroit Lions, yes, no, maybe so.
That's where I've got him. Got him at 5.
AP, got him at number 2. The 2nd best linebacker in football. It is, not agreed upon you, so you disagree with those writers. That's fine. That is fine. Number 4 on the list, executives, coaches, scouts say Zach Bond. This is a guy that was a practice squad player a few years ago. How did he go from being a guy that nobody had ever heard of to becoming a household name and all-pro in the middle of one of the better defenses in the NFL?
I'll say it again. The front 7 very much works with each other. They're a unit.
Yeah.
Who's got one of the best defensive lines in all of football? That would be the Philadelphia Eagles.
So is it just placement then? So is Zach Bond...
A lot of it's placement. A lot of it is if you are able to fill the job that the guy before you struggled with, can you name the linebacker before Zach Bond?
Yeah, no.
I can't either.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, that is one of the wilder things is just having place and fit you get with the right team. I mean, we watch the NFL all the time, and you see these guys that are just, you could put them anywhere and they're going to be great. It's not necessarily so. I mean, we've seen guys leave a place where they were absolutely dominant and then just kind of fade into the background. There's certain schemes, certain coaches, certain organizations that get the most out of guys. Zach Bond is one of those guys that's interesting to me. So he's number 4 on the list that ESPN published and number 3 as voted on by the AP.
Yeah, I've got him at 3 as well.
Not on the AP list at all. Number 3, this is a second-year player. Carson Schlesinger. Number third best linebacker. You talk about playing behind a defensive front is going to help you out. Playing behind Myles Garrett make you a little bit better?
When Carson Schlesinger has 88 tackles this year and the defense for Cleveland lets up 250 rushing yards a game because they don't have Myles Garrett, there's the poked hole.
Yeah.
My issue is you picked a 2-year guy, a guy in his second year.
Yeah, a guy that played 1 year.
I hate that.
Yeah.
Because what's the best part about linebackers? When you do it for 4, 5, 6 years. Again, the guys that we talked about earlier on this list. Nick Bolton. Again, Devin Lloyd.
Yeah.
These guys are going to be staples moving forward.
Well, like looking at this list, so you've got Devin Lloyd 27, Edgerrin Cooper 25, Nick Bolton 26, Jordan Brooks 28, Al Shahir 28. Jack Campbell is only 25 years old, but 23 years old for Schlesinger. Zach Bond, 29 years old. So guys that have been in the league for a long time. A 23-year-old is really your third best linebacker. I did find that one interesting.
He has great numbers. 156 tackles, 11 TFLs, 2.5 sacks.
Yeah. All right.
Myles Garrett's that guy, though.
Number 2 on the list, Roquan Smith. Tied for 5th on the AP list. Roquan Smith, your second best linebacker in the NFL.
Who was 1? If Roquan is 2,
number 1.
Who was 1?
Number 1 on both lists.
It's going to be wrong.
Fred Warner.
Okay, never mind then.
Did you not have Fred Warner on your list?
No, because he didn't play last year. So that was my
injuries do it.
Again, remember, this list started with the NFL Top 100, so I kept him out of the NFL Top 100 because of the injury. Yeah, Fred Warner. Duh.
It's my favorite response. Whoever it is, it's number wrong. It's wrong.
Yeah. Forgot he still plays
Fred Warner.
football.
Oh, yeah.
He plays football? Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, well, I mean, but it is, injuries are one of those things too, though. It's how often do we see a guy get hurt and then just never quite recover or stay healthy? One of those two things can happen all the time. But the speed that Fred Warner plays with, sideline to sideline, and just the ability to do basically everything you need a linebacker to do.
He does everything.
Trust me, I know. I hate the guy very, very much. And he is a game wrecker.
Mm-hmm.
He is a guy that just absolutely shows up when you're like, oh, look how much space we had. It's remarkable. So, anyways, there you have it. So,
one of our some of our honorable mentions that we didn't. I know you said Quay Walker was one of them.
Yeah. So I'll give you the full list. So it's Fred Warner, Roquan Smith, Carson Schlesinger, Zach Bond, Jack Campbell, Azeez Al-Shahir, Jordan Brooks, Nick Bolton, Edgerrin Cooper, Devin Lloyd. Quay Walker's your first honorable mention. DeMarvio Overshawn for the Cowboys. Patrick Queen, Demario Davis. Votes received for Tremaine Edmonds, Frankie Luva, Bobby Wagner. Ernest Jones, Zaire Franklin, TJ Edwards, Caden Ellis, and Dre Greenlaw.
The one name maybe the two names that I'd probably say I'd be very angry that they're not on the list.
Both Pittsburgh Steelers. Go ahead.
Neither one of them Pittsburgh Steelers. That's where we have our biggest issues. Overshown has been one of the best linebackers on tape. When you say Fred Warner, Overshown has been a game wrecker every single time. He just hasn't been as healthy.
Sure.
Same reason as Fred Warner.
Yep.
But Zaire Franklin has been in the top 10 in the league in tackles since he entered the league.
Yeah.
I think he's in year 13 or year 14 now. Zaire Franklin is one of the best linebackers that will never get the shine that he deserves. He is probably one of my favorite linebackers to ever exist because that dude just does nothing but kick ass every single day. And he goes up against Jonathan Taylor every single day in practice. So
that probably makes it easier.
Probably why he's real good.
Looks like he has completed 9 seasons in the NFL.
So, again, coming into year 10, I expect him probably to have over 100 tackles again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is a team that I think you need to figure out something from. Is Daniel Jones going to be the guy to come back, be healthy, and be ready to go?
Is coming back.
Oh,
I
is he
believe
not?
Zaire might be a free agent at the moment. Sorry, he actually
We did
he's with
Packers.
the Green Bay Packers
Yep,
now.
there you go. There you go. Well, if you don't have Quay Walker, you just go to Zaire Franklin.
So
there
you
go.
say that Edgerrin Cooper guy next to him?
Yeah.
And guess what? Zaire Franklin's that guy.
All right. Well, we will see how this all pans out. I'm trying to compile your list with my list that I'm reading, not that I have published. Then I want to kind of keep an eye on these guys. This is something that I have not done I'm not a fantasy guy anyways, but keeping track of these individual performers and watching them as the NFL season goes. We're not that far away from it, so it should be pretty fun. In today's show, we are going to talk to Gary Hill Jr. at 2:30. So if you're a Mariners fan or if you're a Reds fan, that's the next series coming up. Dodgers right down the road for the Mariners as well. So if you want to listen to a little inside baseball talk, 2:30 is the time to do that. But we need to get to that list, the top 100. You've hit 2 right on the nose, I believe. We'll see how many more names you can be dead on accurate with.
Just missed Trevor Lawrence.
Wait till we get to the top half, and I think you're
right
going to get
past the
really angry when we get into the top half of this list. I don't know why, but that's a suspicion that I have. That and more NFL. We do it next. You're listening to the bonus hour of Happy Hour on 105.1 and the Fan Sports Network. All right, kids, we are going through the list of the top 100 players, but I wanted to see if you saw something first. Are you watching Netflix Quarterback?
Parts of it.
I have not seen any of it. I've actually never really gotten into any of them. There is something on Netflix that I saw a preview for the other day, the Cocaine Quarterback. That I want to watch.
Sign me up.
Oh, yeah. Do you know that story?
A little bit.
The kid from USC, it looks absolutely wild. I've not watched Quarterback the series, but there was a clip that I saw the other day that is absolutely hilarious. If you get a chance to see Joe Flacco giving the tour of the Corvette that he won as a Super Bowl prize.
All dusty and cobwebbed up.
Oh, yeah, there's no way that this runs. He's like, yeah, the door handle, I don't know how that works or whatever. Put a 6'5" guy into a little hot rod sports car is not a great fit. And then he added the kids. Nobody liked driving the car, but they will never get rid of it because they said it looks like a trophy. But completely buried behind Christmas decorations, completely buried in a garage that looks like it's from like Back to the Future in the 1950s. Just absolutely.
It looks like a shed.
It does look like a shed. It's buried in an off-building garage by itself, just sitting there collecting dust. It is hilarious. If they remake Back to the Future, they need to go and steal that car and just use the Corvette instead of the DeLorean. That's how funny it looked to me. It's absolutely hilarious. So with that in mind, we will go and see where Joe Flacco sits on this list. I'm just going to go ahead and assume that as we get into the 60s, you do not have him in the 60s on this list.
If Lamar Jackson's at 69, I don't think Joe Flacco's cracking the list.
I do have a quarterback. Not at 60, but at 59, but we need to get to number 60 first. This player only played 12 games last year, which I know is a pet peeve of yours. Availability is the best ability that you can have in the NFL. In those 12 games, racked up 64 receptions, 680 yards, 10 yards per reception, 7 TDs at the tight end position. It is one Brock Bowers, number 60 on the NFL's top 100. This is voted on by players, so don't yell at me. How do you feel about Brock Bowers, young man?
You said he was at 60?
Number 60.
I got him at 54.
Okay, not too far off. What's your favorite thing about Brock Bowers?
Versatility. The fact that he can run every route, can create a lot of space just with his body and also his speed, and then the second that he gets the ball, look out. That's a dangerous guy with the ball.
Yeah, and if he can stay healthy, I think that's the number one thing if you're a Raiders fan. I mean, that guy, it was funny, a couple years ago when he's a rookie, I remember thinking, I've not heard anything about Brock Bowers. And this thought just pops into my head. And I'm curious, I have this floating curiosity of where it is, and I'm flipping through the stations on a Sunday, and I had no idea that we broadcast every Raiders game on radio in this market, and I stumbled upon the Raiders game, and there's Brock Bowers getting ready to set the rookie receiving record for tight ends, and I'm like, oh, well, that's why I hadn't heard about him. He's playing for the Raiders. Hopefully the Raiders can make some improvement. They've got the number 1 overall quarterback. They've got Kirk Cousins there as a mentor. You have 2 nerds playing quarterback, and Brock Bowers looks as much like a nerd at the tight end position as anybody, especially a youngster tight end with a receding hairline. So maybe all those nerds can get together and start winning some football games. But
yeah, the Raiders were awful.
They can't be worse.
But what they said in Brock Bowers' rookie years, they went, all right, well, we have Brock, so let's see what we're going to do with this.
Don't see why not.
He broke every record that you needed to for a tight end.
Don't see why not. The season ended with an injury, but this quarterback still played 17 games, 63% completion percentage.
He's going to be higher on the list than Lamar?
Every quarterback here on out is better than Lamar. 63% completion percentage, 3,931 passing yards, 6.4 yards per attempt, 25 passing TDs, only 11 touchdowns, 356 rushing yards, 5 TDs, only 4 fumbles. Bo Nix is ahead of Lamar Jackson on the NFL's top 100 players as voted on by the other players. Lamar only played 13 games last year. Bo Nix had more rushing yards last year. No response?
Can you justify, is Bo Nix a better quarterback than Lamar Jackson?
He had 7 more rushing yards than Lamar Jackson last season, so why wouldn't he be a better option?
How many more games did he play than Lamar?
4.
Only 7 more yards?
Rushing. He had a lot more passing. Threw for 1,400 more yards.
Again, I I am the biggest Baltimore Raven hater you could ever find. But there is not 5 quarterbacks better than Lamar Jackson. That is crazy to me.
Yeah, well, not only are there
Bo
5...
Nix proved that his team was about the same.
Oh, no, they were terrible with Stidham out there. Terrible. It was embarrassing to roll him out. Trevor Lawrence and Bo Nix, both better than Lamar Jackson.
No.
Yeah, I mean, it says right. I'm looking at it.
I know you
You
are.
can't just say no. This is other players voting, Casey.
No.
It's a little shock. Here's my question. Is Bo Nix better than Trevor Lawrence?
I'll compete with that conversation.
Okay.
I'll have that conversation. Bo Nix, I just need a little more time.
Okay, well, it'll be...
But Lamar Jackson?
I know.
The former MVP?
Twice.
2-time MVP. No.
One of the biggest questions in my head is, what do the Baltimore Ravens look like with a new head coach?
Mm-hmm.
It's been 2 decades since we've had one.
But we know what they've looked like with Lamar.
Well, I know, but that's what I'm saying. They have completely reshaped their roster from their first iteration of what John Harbaugh made. And then they became a team built around Lamar for success. And they have gotten to the postseason several times, and they've not had the success. Will we see a completely revamped Baltimore Ravens offense when you just hired a defensive head coach?
I don't see any changes to the offense. You're still going to run the ball a lot. Lamar's going to throw a few checkdowns to tight ends. He's going to throw a few slant routes and a few middle-of-the-field balls to Zay Flowers. And they're going to score a lot of points.
What's interesting to me, though, is you have a defensive head coach who spends his time game planning and trying to figure out what to do when you go up against Lamar Jackson. I kind of think that's a cool way to look at it as the leader of this team. And if you're Jesse Minter going, what are the things that I'm afraid of? That's what we're going to do. I hope it looks a little different. If you go out and you get rid of a guy that's been there 18 years and it looks exactly the same on the offensive side of the ball and you have not been able to get over the hump, that's a disappointment. Even if you go out and just try different things, obviously you don't want to put Lamar Jackson in a position where he's taking any more hits. Mm-hmm. If anything, go the other way and make it conservative, but at least threaten the defense. That's what I would like to see. The Baltimore Ravens have been one of the more disappointing postseason teams that I can remember.
100%.
They happen to be doing it at the same time that the Buffalo Bills are equally as disappointing, but at least Josh Allen and the Bills have gone head-to-head and played games that come down to the wire against the Chiefs. I cannot remember a Lamar Jackson we almost had it game. They just look flat.
That's why I'm going to push back on that one, because Lamar Jackson is a Mark Andrews catch away from being in an AFC Championship.
But that's an AFC Championship game. That is not a Super Bowl. There's one game.
That's the same as Josh Allen.
That's fine.
It's the same exact situation as Josh Allen.
Again, but maybe that's a reason we don't give him enough.
And what is Josh Allen going to be on this NFL Top 100 list?
Until last year, until the final game of last season where Josh Allen was terrible, his numbers were among the best postseason performers. Lamar Jackson is not. You're not wrong that Mark Andrews had the drop.
But what was Lamar's stats every year up until these past 2 years where we've seen Lamar take steps back?
Well, one of the problems, yes, during the regular season, and that's why he's a 2-time MVP. The other thing with Lamar Jackson is there's been a couple seasons where he got to the end of it and he just wasn't available for the postseason. That's not his fault necessarily.
And Josh Allen's mobility went down because he's playing through injury.
You can get in the argument that Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson are the better quarterback, and I'm fine. You get to see him twice a year. Here's the problem right now. Bo Nix is better than Lamar Jackson. That's a conversation. Trevor Lawrence better than Lamar Jackson.
If we're having this conversation
that to me
Josh
is insane.
Allen versus Lamar Jackson,
again,
Bo Nix should not be on this list.
I totally agree. You're just getting angry at the wrong things. Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson both as disappointing, but I would say the Bills as a team are more disappointing to me than the Ravens as a team, partly because the John Harbaugh era saw them win a championship. So, and then they went to the Super Bowl multiple times. The Bills are one of those where I look at it as a team, and again, this is probably just all the memories of my childhood flooding back, where they made it to 4 straight Super Bowls and didn't win. The Bills are maybe the most desperate team for a championship out there, so you can put it on the whole team, and the logo gives you this reflex where you're like, this isn't going to go well in big games. for the Ravens, because they've won 2 Super Bowls, both of them obviously without Lamar Jackson. You look at Lamar Jackson going, this organization expects you to be great in big moments. Joe Flacco, say what you want, had one of the best postseason runs we've ever seen by a quarterback. Lamar Jackson has been one of the best quarterbacks and the most unique quarterbacks we've ever seen.
I will say,
the only thing he's missing, Dak Prescott just came out and said, the only thing I'm missing is a Super Bowl. You have not been anywhere near as good as Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen. You have a lot of things that you need to work on before you get a Super Bowl.
what I will say to Joe Flacco's point is Joe Flacco had the ability to get bailed out by his kicker in a lot of special moments and his defense.
Nobody wins a football game by themselves. I think Lamar Jackson, because of the individual accolades that he has won, because of how unique of a physical talent he is, fair or unfair, gets more of that pressure.
It's not Lamar's fault that they weren't a playoff team last year.
Again, I don't think it is, and I'm not saying that it is. I'm just saying that the narrative has fallen that way because of how much success he's had in the regular season compared to what he's done in the postseason. Fair or not, would you give me that the narratives, because you're fighting against it? Because I think you've had this conversation
the narrative's
before.
just not fair.
Yes, that's exactly my point.
The continuous knock on, again, Lamar Jackson versus Josh Allen. They're the same quarterback. The teams are pretty much the same personnel-wise. Why do we have a difference? It's because, well, the old knock against black quarterbacks.
Yeah, I would say that there is some of that, but we have seen black quarterbacks be successful in this league, so I don't think that knock is as heavy as it once was.
Again,
but
the two-time MVP just got passed up by a guy who's won 2 playoff games.
This list is ridiculous. You and I agree on that. Where Lamar Jackson was on that blew my mind. I want to see them do something different with this offense because I want to see them be successful. That's what I'm saying.
I just don't think the offense is the make or break, because I think their offense has been consistent. Their make or break has been all the little details around it.
Sure, but you hired a new coach for a reason. So let's see. I like it when I watch the NFL and you go, oh, that is this guy's team. That is the how much fun it was, whether you were an Eagles fan or not. They got close often with that Andy Reid offense. And people were like, I don't know if this can win. And Philadelphia went, get out. They went to, 4 or 5 straight NFC championship games and couldn't get over the hump. They moved on. Andy Reid's not doing stuff a whole lot different, but they've obviously won in Kansas City and won a lot. So you can see where those fingerprints are on it. So you have a first-time head coach getting as good a roster as any first-time head coach has ever had. You better do something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We can agree on.
Yeah.
Let's get into the normal shenanigans at our happy hour. We do it next. It's 105.1 The Fan.
Wesley Financial Group. Today at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, Spain took home the 2026 World Cup yesterday as they defeated Argentina 1-0 in extra time. This marks Spain's second World Cup win, with their first coming back in 2010. Spain also set a historic defensive record in the World Cup campaign as they allowed just one goal in 8 matches, the fewest ever conceded by a World Cup champion. Ryan Fox became your Open champion over the weekend, clinching his first major championship title of his career. Fox posted a 2-under in round 4 to finish 10-under on the tournament, clinching the title with a birdie putt on 18 to beat Cameron Young by 1 stroke. Over to the NCAA as the University of Michigan announced that athletic director Ward Manuel will step down at the end of the calendar year. The school has also released a summary of an independent investigation into the culture of the athletic department, which has been flooded with scandal in recent years. And finally, some NBA news for you as Matisse Thybulle is signing a 1-year deal with the LA Lakers. Thybulle shot 41.8% from the three-point line over the past 2 seasons as he will sign a deal worth up to $3.3 million. And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Lowercase from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
This is the
Hey, happy Jump Day, all you beautiful radio listeners. Thank you for dropping in on our little happy hour. We appreciate you listening. If you're watching this on YouTube, here's a hand gesture just for you. You're welcome. YouTubers, feel free to hit us up on the chat if you're listening on the radio through 105.1 FM, 1080 AM, online at 1051thefan.com, odyssey.com, the Odyssey app, or you ask your smart speakers to find me someone that actually liked the World Cup halftime show, and this is what you got. Use the fan text line. It's 503-2GO-FAN. That's 503-864-6326. Use it. Use the text, use the chat to share your thoughts, ask questions, solicit advice, or answer me this, dear listeners. Who the hell is Ryan Fox? Lowercase, I know he won the Open Championship. Do you know anything else about the Kiwi other than he just won a golf tournament?
Other than the fact that he's from New Zealand, got nothing
That's
for you.
all you got? I'll tell you this. 39 years old. He turned professional in 2012. He is playing on the PGA and European Tour. He has 20 professional wins, 3 on the PGA Tour, 3 on the European Tour, 1 on the Asian Tour, 3 on the Australasia Tour, 2 on the Challenge Tour, and 9 others. He has finished tied for 19th at the U.S. Open in 2025 was his best finish until he was just nails coming down the stretch at the Open Championship. Did anybody have Ryan Fox at the beginning of that tournament? How much money did you win?
Some dude on Pat McAfee apparently had Ryan Fox.
Did they, really?
Yeah, I'll send you the clip. It's an interesting one where Pat McAfee then posted and said, well, cash your tickets, folks.
Well, yes. Did he have him and then 6 other random guys that he selected by throwing chicken at a dartboard or something? How do you even pick that guy?
It was the only name I heard him say in the clip.
Well, yeah, but it was after the tournament.
Again,
There's no way this was pre-tournament?
This was pre-tournament.
All right. Well, he finished, again, last year's U.S. Open. He finished tied for 19th at the PGA Championship in 23, tied for 23rd. Masters tied for 26th. That's all he's got. And you had him. Cool.
I'm looking it up right now just to verify for you.
No worries. That's all I know about the guy. Congratulations.
ESPN golf reporter Mark Schlabach had said, Ryan Fox, he's a sleeper.
Sleeper. Oh, but he didn't say picked him to win.
They talked about the betting line.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. All right.
Good money.
Yeah, but again, sleeper is different than this is my favorite to win the tournament. Did you enjoy the Open Championship, or were too many people watching on devices that you're connected to
Surprisingly,
with your password?
I was able to watch the Open Championship.
I'm so proud of you. I am so proud of you.
The one I wanted to watch was the World Cup, but I got to watch the Open Championship.
Hey, you got to watch that. Binary Brewing and The Fan have teamed up for the Only Fan IPA, available for a limited time. Taste The Fan with Binary Brewing's signature West Coast IPA. Go to Binary Brewing's Beaverton location. Ask them about their Only Fan. So good. Only The Fan and Binary Brewing could pull it off. Do you want to do some in case you missed it?
Let's do it.
All right. In case you missed it, after Bryson DeChambeau got hit with a 2-stroke penalty at the Open Championship, world number 1 Scotty Scheffler stepped up to defend him. Scotty acknowledged that Bryson may be a whiner, slow, a math geek, dismissive of Saudi Arabia's ties to 9/11, way more obsessed with his YouTube subscribers than the actual game of golf, and annoying beyond bordering on insufferable, and kind of a douche, but he's not a cheater. So thank you, Scotty, for stepping up and defending your boy. In case you missed it, Live Golf is facing a brand new lawsuit after a tech company claimed that the league stiffed them on over $1 million in broadcast fees. Seriously, can we just let Live die already? Just rip off the Band-Aid so everyone can move on with their lives. Let the players out of their contracts, cancel the remaining events, and send a gift basket to your fan. Has anybody watched? Have you ever watched a Live event? Is that something you can get on your TV?
Nope.
Never tried, have you?
Have not tried.
Never tried, not one time. In case you missed it, Eagles running back Saquon Barkley and his family were inside their home during an attempted burglary over the weekend. Thankfully, everyone is completely safe. According to police, the suspects made 3 separate unsuccessful attempts to get inside before they ultimately decided to punt. No? Oh?
Where's Big Dom when you need him?
Critics of the burglars already blasting the conservative play calling say they should have taken at least one attempt through the air, but they kept it on the ground the whole time. In case you missed it, New York Giants running back Cam Scatterbo had to reassure the public this weekend that he is totally fine after a video of him falling directly on his ass during a backflip attempt at the Fanatics Fest went viral. And look, he's saying exactly what people want to hear, because nobody wants to get hyped up for a season, draft a guy in fantasy, buy his jersey, only to find out that he tore his ACL on a jet ski. No way. In the NFL, if a player is going to ruin your fantasy season before September, I want to see a ligament snap in crystal clear 4K high definition with multiple camera angles from the absolute comfort of my couch. That's what NFL fans really want. No?
The imagery of that just, ugh.
It's so funny. It's like, oh, you better not do anything to hurt himself until the season starts. Then it happens and you can't stop replaying it. Oh, man, that look. Napoleon McCallum. Oh, watch that knee. Watch what it does. Oh, you can see the bone come out.
I've seen the Nick Chubb injury way too many times.
Yeah, there's so many of those. And then depending on the injury, you're like, well, I don't think he's dead. Let's show it from another angle, Bob. Please stop. Please stop. And finally, in case you missed it, NFL players are loudly demanding that owners permanently keep the natural grass installed for the 2026 World Cup to help protect their bodies. And honestly, watching the World Cup final, the broadcast images really are just so much better on natural grass, which is critical for soccer, obviously, because me, probably like most American fans, spent about 80% of the time during the finals match literally watching grass grow. It's so much nicer that there's at least something. You can see that game was boring as hell. All right, thanks to our studio audience. At 2:30, we're going to have Gary Hill Jr. join us to talk Mariners, but right now we need to get into the Daily Buzz. The Red Sox continue to roll. Thunder ditch Dort and Lady Lumberjacks. The Daily Buzz, it is next on 105.1 The Fan. Well, as a Mariners fan, we just got to see up close and personal right before the All-Star break how good the Tampa Bay Rays are. Guess who doesn't care about that? The Boston Red Sox. They just swept the Rays for their 13th consecutive win, tying a historic franchise mark not accomplished since 1948 when they had a guy named Ted Williams playing for them. 13 games is the longest winning streak in baseball right now, but long way to go if they want to get the all-time record. The New York Giants in 1916 had a 26-game win streak, but that did include a tie. So you're looking at the 2017, I'm going to say it only because it was their name then, Cleveland Indians. I know they're the Guardians now, but they were the Indians then. Send your hate mail to lowercase if you don't like me saying that. But they had a record of 22 straight wins without a loss or tie. The Red Sox were 15.5 games back in their division just a couple weeks ago. They are now sitting in a wild card spot. I'd like to have one of those runs in Seattle would be pretty nice. But watch out for the Red Sox. They are a freaking buzzsaw right now.
The Buzz.
The Oklahoma City Thunder, man, you knew it was going to catch up to them. Sam Presti has already said they're going to have to make some financial decisions, and a financial decision they made over the weekend. The Thunder have traded all defensive wing Lou Dort to the Hawks in a 3-team deal that set a 3 second-round picks to Oklahoma City. Just let's collect some second-round picks.
More picks for OKC.
That's how we're going to keep this train rolling. Love to see it. They get a 2024 first-round pick. Zachary Risache will go to the Mavericks, and Ryan Nembhard, former Gonzaga hooper, will go to the Hawks. Explain this to me. Zachary Risache, number 1 overall pick just a couple years ago, is on the move. The Hawks social media department sent a thank you Zachary email or social post out. Thanks for what? Thanks for not being Cooper Flagg or Victor Wembanyama. You were taken between two of the most hyped draft picks.
Great kid.
And you get the number 1 overall pick when you get Zachary Risache. The 6'8" small forward has averaged 9.6 points, 3 rebounds, and an assist over his career so far. So, all right, moving on.
The Buzz.
Let's go. Oh, your Golden State Warriors. Do we have trumpets or some noise or some applause? They are your Summer League champions. Congratulations. Congratulations to the Warriors. Guys with consonants and places they probably shouldn't be. Yaxel Lenberg, is that the Michigan guy?
Axel Lenderberg.
Yeah, he is your MVP for the Warriors. Goes out and they erased a 10-point deficit against the Grizzlies to hone their championship. Congratulations to the Warriors. Do you have anything that you can take away from Summer League so far? Do you watch any of it? Pay any attention? Is Yang Hansan going to be the next guy for the... Well, he's one of 7 centers, so he's got to have some value with this team, right?
I have no belief in the Summer League. It only makes me crazier with my takes come December.
So all it does is ruin your brain.
All it does is ruin my brain.
Okay, so if that banner is hoisted next to their actual championship banners, will you be disappointed in the Warriors?
No?
No? Oh, put it up there.
Yeah, no. It's
let
Summer League. You got
let it go. Let it go. Let's move on. And we do need to talk some Mariners with Gary Hill Jr., so we'll do that in just a minute. So we'll wrap it up with this.
The Buzz.
3 women's world records were set at the World Championships for Lumberjack Sports. Competitors out there with chainsaws and handsaws and running up and down and across trees. Carolina Urbanova from the Czech Republic set world records in 2 events. She earned first place in the women's underhand chop, cutting through 11 inches of white pine in just 21 seconds, and came in first place in the standing chop, 9 inches of white pine in just 19.38 seconds. And Meredith Ingilbertson of Hayward set a world record in the women's boom run. What we need in our life is more lumberjack competitions.
Hold on.
No? What? You did not follow me?
The different events are just the different ways they cut wood.
No, those
the
are just
direction at which you cut the wood.
Those are just the world record. Hey, if you're out there in the woods, Casey, and you're trying to do your lumberjacking, sometimes it's going to require an overhand chop, which, if you're going to be efficient, I'm saying 19 seconds or 9 inches of white pine, whoo-hoo, she's moving. Sometimes you need an underhand chop. It's going to take you a little bit longer, but a little more pine, 11 inches, just 21 seconds. I'm just saying. Pretty dramatic final. And the boom run, that ain't chopping at all, brother. Running across logs on water. You need to watch yourself.
The boom run sounds fun.
Yeah.
That sounds like something worth watching.
Yeah, go ahead and pull up.
Watching people chop wood is like watching paint dry.
You know what? When you go head-to-head and you got two people swinging axes, you think hockey fights are fun? Whoa! Wait till there's controversy and people bust out the chainsaws and the axes. They do chainsaw and they do team events. You need to pull up in the break. You go ahead and pull up yourself some lumberjacking. Then I'd like to hear you make fun of it.
I think I'm good on cutting wood.
Let's walk over to the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Center. See what we missed.
First on the Fan, Arizona Cardinals Director of College Scouting Ryan Gold is appealing his indefinite NFL suspension for allegations that he violated the league's gambling policy. Remember on Friday I brought up that the NFL confirmed that it had been investigating Gold for potential violations of the league's gambling policy. Well, Gold has released a statement through his attorney, Mike Caspino, denying the allegations, saying Gold has been an outstanding NFL executive for over a decade. The accusations made by the league regarding his participation in prohibited gambling activities are blatantly false. We have demanded an appeal, and we look forward to clearing his good name. This is far from over.
What do you think the chances are that he wins his appeal? No?
I think they're pretty high.
No. Stay away from gambling. If you work in sports, unless it's sports radio, just stay away from it. Be smart. Be smart.
And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Casey Smith from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of the fan.
All right, well, your Seattle Mariners get a nice series victory to start the second half. Things did not look great on Friday night with a 7-0 loss to the lowly San Francisco Giants, but they get a walk-off sac fly from Julio on Saturday, and yesterday a nice 6-3 win. As we get into the final 62 games, we invited Gary Hill Jr. to join us once again, the radio voice of the Seattle Mariners. Gary, how are you doing on this Monday?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Oh, it's a perfect weekend down here in Portland. It looked like it was absolutely beautiful up in Seattle as well. And you've got 3 more games at home with the Reds. So if the Mariners keep playing like they did yesterday, I'm going to feel pretty good.
Yeah, more of that, please.
It was nice to have one that wasn't a nail biter coming down to it. I mean, Friday was so frustrating because you just couldn't get anything going. And you go, okay, you get the Giants and the Reds, who have been, 2 of the National League teams that I'm not terrified of. And then to start it off with a 7-0 shutout was a little bit frightening. But throughout the series, did you see them kind of get back into gear, or am I just making too much of the scores over the weekend?
No, you hope that was it. I mean, it's funny. Through 6 innings of the second game, you're like, whoa, if I would have told you in the 6th inning of game 2 that, hey, don't worry, the Mariners are going to win the series, you would have had some questions.
For sure.
For me, the one big swing by Cole Young, who had a fantastic couple of days. And, I think the thing for me about yesterday that was so great, it was the Mariners formula, which we have not seen a lot recently. It was get a good start, which they did from Logan Gilbert, get lockdown bullpen, which they did, and they bashed a couple of home runs along the way. And, that has been their formula the last few years. When they do that, they win a ton of games. And, the last month or so, the pitching has been there for the Mariners. The rotation has been really good, and that back end of the bullpen has been really good. What's been missing has been the offense, and particularly for me, the slug. They haven't slugged. You look at the last 30 days, they're last in runs scored, last in homers, last in slug. You go down the list.
Well, they don't hit doubles, and they certainly don't hit triples. And when the home run power goes down, that slugging percentage falls off a cliff.
That's right. And they're a team that's capable of it. That's the thing. So, as we have seen in years past, they're also a team that turns things around on a dime. It can happen fast. So, I think we're left hoping and wondering if, hey, maybe this was the start of something. They took 2 of 3 from San Francisco, which is great. I think that's the same goal in this series, to take 2 of 3 against Cincinnati. And then you're staring at 4 against the team you're chasing right now in the Texas Rangers on the road. So it's going to be a big week for the Mariners.
Right now, the Mariners sit exactly at 50-50, 62 games left. As you mentioned, they're chasing the Rangers, but they're only a half game back, so they could flip-flop places before they even play on Friday with that. Have you started looking at the Cincinnati Reds? Early in the season, they were off to an electric start, but then injuries and really a strong division kind of caught up to them, and now they're sitting, I believe, in last place in the National League Central. But what do they have that they're bringing to T-Mobile that we're worried about?
Yeah, the only team below 500 in their division. It's kind of a disappointing year because going into the season, they're a team that made the postseason last year. So they had pretty high expectations, too, of what would happen this year. But they just haven't met those expectations. Hunter Green has not been healthy this year, who is supposed to be the head of the rotation. Offensively, they have some guys that scare you, like De La Cruz, Sal Stewart, a couple guys at the top of the lineup that can really hit. But overall, their offense hasn't been as good as we thought. I will say, if you look at this series and want to take this 3 games, I think Game 1 is going to be pretty key because Game 2, they're facing someone that Mariner fans may not be that familiar with, and Burns, the starter for Cincinnati in Game 2, but he is sensational. He is very difficult. One of the nastiest pitchers in the game. The Reds just gave him a long deal. So that's one that is going to be tough. So Game 1 is one that I think the Mariners would love to get. If you want to get the series, then it gives you 2 chances to take the series because Game 2 is going to be tough. But he's the one to circle for me in this series for Cincinnati.
Yeah, and Chase Burns, if I'm looking at this correctly, at least this is what ESPN says, is we'll get Chase Burns tomorrow. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I have Kirby and Abbott tonight. Yeah, so go ahead and get Game 1, then take on, I think he's 11-1 in his first 12 starts as a major leaguer. Do I have that right? Chase Burns?
Yeah, He's been ridiculous. His stuff is, I mean, it's why the Reds locked him up to such a long deal. And it's not something they've typically done before, but they are a big believer in what he brings to the table. I think he will be the head of their rotation for a long time. But his stuff is ridiculous. The Mariners have their hands full. Not that the Mariners can't win the game, but it's going to be really tough. Castillo, against his former team, is going to have to go toe-to-toe with him and pitch really well.
For sure. The Mariners are 8 games better, well, I guess 16 games better at home. How would you do that math? They're 29-21 at home, 21-29 on the road. Have they played in Texas yet this year? Because that 4-game series, you already mentioned it, is going to be huge for what they need to do if they want to, get something going in this second half. Why are they so much better at home than they are on the road? Is it just comfort? I don't remember it being this dramatic, but there's a lot of teams in baseball that it's been pretty dramatic for this year.
Yeah, it's a really good question. I don't think there's one answer to it, because generally the Mariners year to year pitch better at home because T-Mobile Park is a more friendly place to pitch, so generally they pitch better at home. But I don't think that explains how drastic the splits are between the record home and road. This sounds simplistic. They've just not played well on the road at all. That's been their toughest series. You look back at that Florida trip, that was a really not a good trip for the Mariners heading into the break, all those games on the road against good teams too, but they did not play well. And I think that's been the commonality. They've not played well on the road. What's been interesting, you mentioned games against Texas. That's the only team they've been below 500 against in the division. Outside of that, they've been really good within the division. They've dominated the Astros in the division this year, and they've played well against the A's and the Angels. So this is one to turn around, though. I think they're 2-4 against the Rangers coming into this weekend. So that is one they definitely want to turn around for sure.
Yeah, and they've played, 6 games, I guess. I figured out how to use Control F on my computer. So 6 games against against the Rangers, 3 at home, 3 on the road, but all of those games were played in April. So I think this is obviously a different team that you have. I mean, just so people know, we're talking with Gary Hill Jr., the radio voice of the Seattle Mariners. I'm getting used to talking to you at this point, Gary, so I forget to remind our listeners. But up the middle, and especially on Saturday night, boy, that stop by Colt Emerson in the 10th inning to keep the automatic runner from advancing to third was one of maybe the better plays that I've seen any shortstop make this year. Just incredible. You've got the young guys playing really well up the middle. You mentioned Cole Young and what he's been doing at the plate. Luke Raley comes through again last night. I ask you this every time, and obviously the concussion has held Julio out for a little bit of while, but what do we need to do to see Cal Raleigh and Josh Naylor and some of the guys that we expect to be hitting the ball, hit the ball, or is it just a matter of wait and hope?
That's it. I think you're just waiting for it to happen.
I didn't want that answer, Gary.
That's the thing. Because you are getting contributions from other spots. Canzona's done his thing. Yeah. Cole Young has been excellent. Especially lately, he's been really good. Cole Emerson needs to mention. I think he saved the game with that play.
100%.
What happens after that? Yeah, runners at the corner. So, he's had his struggles offensively. His teams are kind of attacking up in the zone, but he's made up for it too, I think, defensively. And he's not a guy that's supposed to carry things anyway at this stage. But that's what you're waiting on. You're waiting for Cal to be Cal, Naylor to be closer to who he is, and then I think you can get things cooking. I think one of the lessons on the road facing Tampa Bay, their offense is a good offense, but it's really 3 guys that's carrying them. The rest of their offense is not really that good and not really that productive, but they have 3 guys cooking. And it was kind of the same thing with Miami. And it goes to show, with the way the Mariners pitch, you don't have to have 1 through 9 rolling. If they can get that core going, they can win a lot of series and a lot of games down the stretch. And so, as much as it pains to say, that's what it is. You're waiting and hoping.
They're still doing it's not the piggyback anymore. They're still doing the 6-man rotation. Is there any utterance of change to that, or is this kind of the mode going forward for a while? You'll let the bullpen be a little more stressed by keeping 6 starters out there and not moving somebody to the bullpen. Is it just wait to see who flounders? When are they going to make a decision on that? Because we're only 2 weeks away from the trade deadline. You would think that if somebody's interested in one of these starting pitchers, why move them to another team if you can move them to the back end of your bullpen or the middle of your bullpen?
I think you pinpointed one of the natural dates to look at and see how this thing plays out. They're going to do this for now. They haven't announced anything past this homestand, so we'll see what happens on the road. But I think circumstances will dictate, and that's going to be the first one, the trade deadline coming up, and we'll see what happens there. And then after that, I really think it's all going to be about the circumstance. Are the Mariners 4 games back in the Texas Rangers? Are they chasing a spot? Are they 4 games up in the division and have some wiggle room there to deal with? Are they chasing with Tampa Bay for home field? I just think it's all going to be about circumstance when you get into August and September, because at some point you may have to have Logan Gilbert go every 5 days.
Yeah.
Or maybe you don't, right? And I think circumstance is going to dictate the whole thing, starting with the trade deadline.
That's fair. Well, I'll wrap it up with this. The big offseason acquisition was you add Brendan Donovan, and now you've got somebody that makes contact, gets on base, can play all over the diamond for you on defense, maybe even let Randy be some DH for you in certain games so that you don't have to worry about his defense out there. We have not seen that all season. He is working on, a sports hernia, a groin, something else. Everything has kept Brendan Donovan out of the lineup. What's the latest on his potential return, and do you see that making an immediate impact on this, the run scoring that you said is so lacking?
Well, it's good. He's played in 3 rehab games, and his last one was in the field. So his first 2 were DH. So it feels like he's getting closer, which is great. And I think he's been a real missing piece. As you mentioned, we haven't seen him a lot. It's like 25 games, I think, this season.
Yeah, if that.
When he's played, he's been a difference maker at the top of the lineup. He's a guy that gets on base a ton, which they need right now, and he is an all-star quality hitter. And I think he's been a big missing bat for a lot of this lineup. And I think the frustrating thing for me, and we mentioned, waiting for Cal, waiting for Naylor, but it just feels like they have not had their entire intended lineup together really all season. I know technically it's happened a couple times, but it just hasn't felt like we have seen what was intended to be for this Mariners offense. So the hope is Donovan comes back healthy, and you'll probably give him some rest, too, along the way to keep him fresh down the stretch. But I think the hope is he comes back, and finally you have a healthy lineup. And then what if Julio gets going? What if Cal gets going? Because at the end of the day, as up and down as this has been, as frustrating it has been at times this season for the Mariners, it's all still right there.
Yeah.
All the goals, right? The division's there. Division title, playoffs, American League championship, the whole thing. Because the American League is wide open.
Amen to that, yeah.
Yeah, it's all there for the Mariners, as frustrating as it's been. So hopefully what we've seen in the last series against the Giants was a springboard to some good baseball here heading down the stretch of this season.
Well, it looks like, to my eye, we've got a day game next Monday. But why don't you and I plan on tentatively talking again on the 3rd, which will be the trade deadline. No game for the Mariners that day. Does that sound like a decent plan?
That's a great plan.
All right. Well,
we'll see where things are at that point.
I'll be very 2 weeks can change everything. We've seen what the Red Sox have done. The Red Sox in 2 weeks. I mean, you take away the All-Star break. Even with it, they've changed their entire fortune in the last 2 weeks. I will ask you one more question, just because it's on the schedule between now and then. The reports are that Shohei Ohtani probably not back in the rotation by the time the Mariners are at the Dodgers for the 28th, 29th, and 30th. As a broadcaster, I know that you're partial to the Mariners. Do you want to see the best of the best when you go out there? Or are you pretty happy if Shohei Ohtani's not throwing the baseball at this lineup?
That's a great question, because I also am a baseball fan, and I love seeing the best of the best. The thing is, since Ohtani was in the divisions for so long, I feel like I've seen it a lot. So if the Mariners miss him in a series, I'm not sad about it.
Fair enough. I will take that.
I think for Mariner fans, it's more like Skeens is a different question, since they play the Pirates one time a year, and the Pirates come here every other year. That to me is more of okay, if you want to make a make a case that way. But for Ohtani, it's like, I think we've all seen it. I think we're good if he doesn't pitch.
And nobody wants to see Paul Skeens end up in an Astros uniform anytime soon. That is for sure. So I can see the similarities there. Gary Hill Jr., radio voice of the Seattle Mariners. Thank you for joining us once again. We'll talk to you in a couple weeks at the trade deadline.
Sounds good.
All right, there he is. You can listen to Gary call the game against the Reds this afternoon, 6:40, first pitch live from T-Mobile Park. Kirby and Abbott is your expected starters. And then check out Chase Burns tomorrow night. That's the guy that just paid a whole lot of money to. But right now, we need to wrap this show up. We'll do one more for the road. We do it next. It is Happy Hour on 105.1 and the Fan Sports Network. you miss anything from this show, past shows, future shows, podcast, 1051thefan.com, Odyssey.com, the Odyssey app. In case you missed it, already in podcast form. If you just need your little digestible, we are 50 days, 14 hours, 26 minutes, and 45 seconds from the kickoff of the NFL season. Wednesday, September 9th, Seahawks and Patriots rematch of the Super Bowl for you. What are the people saying on the YouTube and the chats that we need to discuss, young man?
We've got a good one. I got someone that texted in saying, I got a varsity letter in timber sports, state champion crosscutter and log roller in 2012.
You were talking trash about timber sports. I'm going to tell you who you don't want to talk trash to.
That guy.
State champion log rollers and crosscutters. I want to see you talk trash to Timber Joey to his face. Dare you?
I'm good.
Okay, yeah. Don't dismiss just because there's two different ways to cut a log, jerk.
Don't know if you got to break them out into different events, but
well, hey, dude, if you watched the Olympics, they've got a different event for every different type of running and jumping, and they just make stuff up. Steeplechase. You ever watch steeplechase?
Yeah.
I will take the boom run.
That's the fan favorite, though.
I will take the boom run over the steeplechase. Let's get some timber sports into the Olympics. Now you're talking. Let's go. Let's do.
One more road.
We did it. We did it. We did it. Take that, Seattle. You stink, we rule. Portland is the new Guinness World Record holder for the largest electrical bicycle group ride in the history of the world. Talked about this last week. We planned it. Hopefully our little show did a part in helping get the crowd out there. They were celebrating the 10th anniversary of the city's Bike Town bike share program, and it concluded the Portland Pride Festival. There was 1,060 riders out on their e-bikes. The previous record that Seattle had, 405. More than doubled it, almost 2.5 times.
Get your numbers
Get out of here. You got
Blew
nothing
out
on
the
it.
water.
It's not even close. The Bike Town program has logged 3.9 million rides since its inception, and the trophy and the Guinness World Record are now with the rightful place where it should be. Portland, congratulations to all of you that got on a bike and kind of rode it over the weekend.
They were e-bikes.
That's what I'm saying. Kind of rode it. I mean, you don't really, if you don't have to pedal it. Have you ever been on an e-bike?
A few times.
Yeah, I took a quick little ride on one. I'm like, no thanks.
Not a big fan of the e-bikes as much as the motorized ones.
Yeah. Motorbike's slightly different. I don't know. I just feel like a dork when I'm on a bike and then you put a little e-motor in it, and I can't do it. But hey, if any city deserves the record, let's be honest, it's the Rose City. It's Bridgetown. Congratulations.
The champ is here.
Hey, if you wanted to be a part of it and you were part of it, congratulations to you. You're part of a Guinness World Record. Big thanks to Gary Hill Jr. for joining us to talk Mariners. Thank you, everybody that listened. Of course, thank you, Casey Smith. And thank you, Isaac Ropp. We're all done for now. Bye-bye.